There are several reasons why some people, including me, like to change it up sometimes and watch a toxic BL. Number one reason is morbid fascination. There is a certain allure in observing characters who exhibit extreme and taboo behaviors. The second reason is depth and complexity. Toxic characters and toxic storylines are often multifaceted. These characters are layered and they have flaws that add depth to the personality and make a very interesting watch. And the third reason is a redemption arc. Not in all cases, but in some series, these characters undergo a growth journey and change for the better, which is rewarding to see as a viewer. So in this list, let me recount 18 toxic BLs that are worth watching. These BLs are all different levels of toxicity. I will mention which is which as I talk about that. So, let's go! A round trip to love is definitely a trip that nearly sent me over the edge. Talk about crazy, obsessive, manic love that stops being love and starts being a toxic disease. This series is like a yaoi novel that you read only to fulfill your wild and poisonous imagination. I highly recommend this to dark romance fans. Lu Feng and Xiao Cheng's passionate love is killed by family opposition. Reuniting years later as boss and employee, their unresolved feelings reignite. But their relationship transcends into toxicity. Despite their enduring love, happiness remains elusive, and their romance becomes a destructive force, consuming them both. Disclaimer: if you're trying to watch this movie hoping for cheese to appear in any shape or form, then you will be disappointed like me. Cheese is in fact a euphemism for adultery and how the main character always feels like cheating on his partners as soon as he is in a committed relationship. The relationship between Koichi and Wataru is really complex and nuanced, and even though you dislike both characters, you can't help but root for their relationship. That's the beauty of this movie. Koichi, an indecisive man in a marriage, grapples with repeated affairs. When former university classmate Wataru appears, hired by Koichi's wife to investigate infidelity, he confesses his long-standing feelings and proposes a secretive affair. Caught between desire and secrecy, Koichi faces a tumultuous emotional journey of temptation and betrayal. Sing in Love is not for the weak. I repeat, Sing in Love is not for the weak. However, if you can stomach dangerous drugs of sex, then you can probably watch Sing in Love. Although I would say that this is more dark and more twisted than Dangerous Drugs of Sex. I can't talk much about it without revealing the whole plot, but just note that this movie will stay with you for a long time and not in a good way. But this movie has a strange allure and you will not be able to stop watching once you start, that's for sure. Jin, a teacher haunted by trauma, encounters Kai, a mysterious figure triggering his past through SA. Kai's obsession with Jin unravels deep-seated wounds, pushing Jin to confront his darkness. As they battle inner demons, they discover the possibility of healing and love despite the odds stacked against them. Mood Indigo was Kijima's villain origin story, and you have to see it before The Pornographer to understand why Kijima became such a slut and a manipulative fuckboy. It's because he was left heartbroken and abandoned by the love of his life. The overwhelming obsession Kido has for Kijima is totally contradicted by his actions towards him, and this is why Mood Indigo is such a fascinating story for me. Shiro Kido reunites with former classmate Ryo Kijima, offering him a chance to write erotic novels. As their intense desire grows, so does their toxic craving, blurring lines and deepening their forbidden relationship. Amid suffering, they spiral into a whirlwind of passion and pain consumed by their insatiable lust. Master-servant trope always intrigues me because I really like to see the toxic power dynamics between the two people. When China made BLs, they went hard. These BLs were almost always morally questionable, and honestly I really liked that about them. They translated novels as it is into live action without modifying them, and this is what makes uncontrollable love very yaoi-like. It's toxic but also emotional. I highly recommend this to danme and yaoi readers. Lonely orphan Shunyan is adopted by Xian, who later rejects him due to homophobia. Amidst chaos, she realizes Shu's stabilizing influence and his own feelings. However, their path to love is hindered by numerous obstacles, testing their bond and forcing them to confront societal prejudices and personal fears. If you want to see a toxic and hot guy play with his best friend's feelings for 12 episodes straight, then please watch this show. You won't be disappointed. Two hot, masculine, buff guys being attracted to each other but unable to carry forward their relationship is a trope I really enjoy, and this BL delivers. Childhood friends Kon and Nok reunite in college and share a passionate night, complicating their friendship. Nok's girlfriend adds tension as they navigate their feelings. Imagine teacher-student trope and fill it with all of the unhealthy, illegal, toxic dynamic that you can think of. Non-con, manipulation, deception, etc. etc. This movie will spin your head round and round with more and more toxic surprises, but they make it highly entertaining, so if you're okay with morally grey movies, then I highly recommend watching. Lonely student Naruto starts an exchange diary with his teacher Aoyama, who one day kisses him without consent. Agitated Naruto drives him out of his teaching career. Few years later, Naruto and Aoyama meet again. Naruto is now a host and sells his body for money. I say this all the time, but I think Double Mints is a very intriguing movie if you like understanding the psyche of characters who are toxic and violent. The two characters in this movie portray a darker side of human nature and let us into the mind of a bully and how the victim falls for him despite being tortured by them. I don't care what people say, this is a romantic movie through and through, even if they don't meet your criteria of romance. They love each other in their own way. Haunted by buried memories, Mitsuo Ichikawa reconnects with high school classmate also known as Mitsuo Ichikawa, who confesses to murder. Drawn back into their shared past, they become accomplices, their dynamic evolving from master and servant to something deeper, blurring the lines of loyalty and identity. Method is an absolutely amazing film that every film enthusiast should watch. The film is quite complex and you will often find yourself questioning your own morals while watching it. Forbidden relationships are my weakness, and this movie explores a very fresh dynamic. A romance or pseudo-romance between an older and experienced actor and a young K-pop idol. As a veteran actor and an idol co-star in the play Unchained, their characters' on-stage romance begins to blur the lines between fiction and reality during rehearsals. This short movie is absolutely mental, and if you are one of those mature audiences that don't kink shame and can watch anything, then I really recommend watching this one. It's different, very different, and you will be entertained watching it. New to BDSM, military officer Lee Jun-jong seeks guidance from DT, a master of human dogs. Assigned a task to demonstrate loyalty, Lee confronts doubts and fears as he navigates the challenges. He must reconcile his desires with his sense of duty to his newfound master. History Obsessed is probably one of the tamest toxic BLs in this list, but I love it because of the semi Jin Tang, who is a walking red flag, but his dominance and obsessive love towards Xiao Yi-chen makes him so attractive to me. He has those crazy eyes where you know he's up to no good and will wreck your life, but you can't help but give him all the power and control. After dying in an accident with his boyfriend Chan Ching-tang, Xiao Yi-chen is reborn 9 years earlier. Determined to alter his fate, he avoids Chang Ching-tang and his feelings. However, Chang discovers Xiao's diary, sparking curiosity. Xiao faces a dilemma: resist Chang's allure to save his future or risk everything for love again. Japan is the king of producing twisted and psycho BL dramas, and this is one of them. This series will anger you. It will make you get up and switch off your screen several times because you don't understand what possesses the characters to do what they did. But at the same time, you can't help but feel for each of them. It's a unique storyline that I think nobody should miss watching. Best friends Miko and Makio take on a part-time job where they meet Iji, who falls for Makio. Despite opposition, Miko supports their relationship. As their bonds deepen, Miko witnesses their growth and evolution of their relationship. Friend Zone to Dangerous Area is probably the most toxic show GMM TV has made till now. It's more toxic than Only Friends, and it's toxic in a very realistic way. Like, these couples could be anywhere around us and living a life facing so much emotional abuse. The BL part of the show carries on for 2 seasons and is one of the best portrayals of best friends to lovers toxic trope. I highly recommend. The story delves into the intertwined lives of Boyo, Boom, Earth and Stud as they navigate complex relationships and personal challenges. Only Friends is a mildly toxic show that is well executed and performed. They show 3 different relationships, all having different levels of toxicity. The show is very entertaining from start to finish. In the dynamic world of business and relationships, Mew, Ray, Boston and Cheum navigate blurred boundaries. As they juggle studies and affairs, unexpected connections form, sparking jealousy, desire and the quest for something deeper. Not only you will pity the toxic ML in this show, you will justify his actions because he's oh so cute, handsome, innocent, charming and adorably jealous. You will see the MC suffering because of ML's toxic behavior, but you will still replace him in a heartbeat if you could. Come on V, make me suffer, make me cry, my tears are all for you. Shatter my heart and break it into a million pieces while I rest my head on your broad shoulders and enjoy your attention while I can. In the tangled web of relationships, V's friendship with Bar is tested when Mark, Bar's junior, declares his love for him. Despite Mark's retreat, V harbors feelings for him, complicating their friendship further. Make It Right does teenage angst perfectly. High school is the age where people start exploring their sexuality, and if you fall in love with a person who refuses to accept that he might be into guys, then those teenage years can be really rough for you. The MC is confused as hell and drags his relationship with the ML for 12 episodes straight. But there are some heart-fluttering moments that show how pure and innocent young love is. Follow the romantic journey of high school students as Fuse grapples with heartbreak and unexpected feelings for his friend T after a drunken encounter. In Your Heart will seem like an innocent friends to lovers story where the 2 guys know they like each other but don't confess because they don't want to jeopardize their friendship. But then you reach the last episode and your jaw is dropped because you didn't realize the ML could be so toxic. The series chronicles the journey of childhood friends Jengi and Lindsay Mink, navigating the complexities of adolescence and love amidst their challenging family backgrounds. Theory of Love, I think, is the most well-known toxic love story because it is executed really well. You will feel the heartbreak and sadness of Third, who can't help but fall for his best friend, who is also a womanizer. I fell in love with Orphan Gun's chemistry after this show, and even though I understood how badly the ML behaves with MC, I still rooted for their relationship. Third, a filmology major, harbors a secret love for his best friend Kai, who is straight and a notorious player. Despite years of silent devotion, Third faces heartbreak when he learns a devastating secret. As he tries to move on, Kai's feelings unexpectedly shift, complicating their friendship further. So these were 18 of my favorite toxic BLs that I recommend everyone to watch. How many BLs have you seen from this list? Let me know in the comments. Bye now!